What's up, YouTube? It is time for the KOF 16 Ultimate Wishlist. Let's get it. Starting off with the main menu, man. And I would love to see some artwork instead of just a black background to show off the characters in the game. And next, I just want to get into the roster. When it comes to the base roster, just give us 6 new original characters, so just 2 brand new teams. So we need the option to customize the colors of our costumes and not just the 8 presets. And give everyone their own alternate costume, at least one. You see right here, I'm showing almost the only one that you get from the base roster in KOF 15. But guys like Robert Garcia, the man of fashion in KOF, only gets one. But look at all these other fits, man. I got to see these in the next KOF. So please give some characters multiple options for costumes. And with different costumes come different poses, as you just saw with Kim. So for the member select, can we see our characters in the costume or color that we have customized them with, similar to KOF 13 as I'm showing you here right now? I think that'd be a great addition, add a little extra personality to this. For stages, just give each team their own individual stage and maybe bring back some retro stages and we're good. Alright, now as we transition over to gameplay, one thing I want to see a lot more of in KOF 16 is unique character intros. There are definitely some in KOF 15, but it is lacking a lot, especially with characters that have been in this game for a while. There's no Kyo and Iori unique character intro for versus mode. A shame. So please add a lot more of those for basically each team. If you don't have one if you're a brand new team, you should at least have a unique intro with players on your team when you go against them. Another thing I want to see is my team in the background. You had it back in KOF 98. It's just cool to have your team watching you fight and you see them reacting to everything that's going on in the fight. So if you're hitting them, they're cheering you on. If you're getting hit, they're kind of wincing like, oof, I know that hurt. Just adds to, oh, this is a team fighter, not just an individual one-on-one fight and just someone else comes in afterwards when it's their turn. This is a team. Let's see our team. One more thing I want to see when it comes to gameplay is the option to remove rush combos. It is great to have them, but you should definitely have the option to toggle those on and off depending on your skill level and you just want to play with no training wheels on. It also would be a good addition to add some visual or audio indicators to let you know what type of jumps, hyper hops, or hops that you're performing. It can be difficult to get a hang of this when you're first starting off on KOF, so just give us a visual or audio indicator, let we know which move that we just execute. I think that helps everybody in the long run and lowers the learning curve in KOF. For the story mode of KOF 16, I want to see a lot more in terms of lore, understanding who these characters are and why are they fighting in this tournament in the first place and how their team was formed. In KOF 15, you get your intro animation. Hey, here's a new tournament. Shows some of the teams like in the background and who they are, but I have no idea why they decided to join this tournament. Is it just a yearly thing they do? They just want to do it to see how strong they are? Do they need the money for a loved one that's sick? No idea. So please, can we get some team intro animations similar to the team story endings to let me know, okay, this is why this team is formed and this is what they're setting out to do, regardless if they're all there for the same reason or they all have their individual motives. So for KOF 15 on the website, you can see like a team story intro, like this is why this team is formed, such and such talk to him, wanted him to join and asked her to join as well. Boom, they just want to test out their strength or need some money to save their barbecue place or show that they have the best form of martial arts. But there is nowhere to be found in the story mode when you actually play, not in the gallery to unlock. So everything that y'all want to put on the website involving story, just add that to the game. I would love to see those story intro animations that let me know how this team was formed, similar to the story endings, and just have it animated and voiced over. Same goes for the story endings as well. Please have those voiced over. It would be great if somehow y'all can have them dubbed in English and Spanish as well, just because you have such a big fan base in Mexico and English is just like one of the most popular languages, so why not? But that's just a few things, just adds to, okay, I'm fighting with this team, but now I know why I'm fighting with this team besides just I thought these characters were cool, so I picked them. Another thing I want to see is some team intros. I think that would be great. You know, you usually see like an individual intro when you're going against somebody, the first person. So like you see right here, I'm about to go against the Aquarius Warrior. So, you know, Ralph has his own intro and you get to see that, but why not the full team? Especially like for the first couple of matches. Just have like a full team intro to see everybody on the screen at the same time, because you don't see that until the animations, or if they have like a story animation there, like the team hero arrival. So let's see that. I think that would be great, so we actually get to see the team as a unit on screen compared to just individually and they just come in one after another. Another thing I want to see more of is character special interactions. There are some, there's definitely some. Like if you're playing through story mode with the registered team, you're gonna see some special character interactions, but there's not enough in my opinion. Like some characters have unique win quotes at the end when they defeat characters, but it's so weird that they have a unique win quote and they had nothing to say to the character before fighting them. Like Shune has something to say about, oh yeah, I'm learning about like the martial arts style of Rio and Robert, but he said nothing to him prior to that. So it's like, why was nothing said before that? So please have some of that. Just add more. If they have a unique win quote for him, might as well give him a special character interaction for him as well. Another thing I think would cool to be add is the intros, not the intros, but the interviews that they have with Clemens Bellamy. This is the biggest tournament, so why not have interviews shown like after the end of the match with the characters, whoever won, and display that. Like make this feel like this the NBA playoffs or something. And when it comes to story endings, we need more unlockables. So as I just showed you, that would be cool if the barbecue place is a stage. There's also costumes that you can see you can unlock. That when I was playing, I was like, okay, cool. Do I get this? No, you do not. I don't get this cool Yuri hoodie, this pink and yellow with the blue shirt, or I don't get this new colorway of Robert with the purple and white that's plaid now. You know, I just think there'll be cool things to add. I mean, y'all already show it, so why not make that unlockable? And if you feel like having a stage and like 3 costumes and certain story endings is too much to unlock for 35 minutes of playing time, then add challenges for these. So maybe the first unlock you might get to pick which item you unlock. So okay, maybe you want the new stage, so boom. But if you want Yuri's costume, then you got to perform a certain amount of supers as you go through story mode. If you want Rio's costume, then hey, you're gonna have to perform a certain amount of climax supers, or Robert, maybe you have to do a certain amount of dragon punches to knock people out of the air. Anything, just add replayability to story mode, besides I just want to see the story ending and that's the only reason I'm playing it. I think that would be cool, because right now all you get is a soundtrack and just this story, so you can see the ending again. So why not add these costumes, add more replayability to it by having unlockables based on what you actually do in story mode. And another thing I would like to see is more secret endings. I'm fine with the 15 that I think we get in KOF 15. It's cool. Like those are all unique. You'll have to come up with those animations. But I'm all about working smarter, not harder. So how do you add more story intros or story endings without doing more work? It's just bring some back from previous games. So when it comes to the old team art of fighting, that's usually Rio, Robert, and Yuri, why not have that be a unlockable story ending? And I know they've been on the same team multiple times, so depending on the score you get is what ending you get from which game. The same here, you see a secret ending from this. Why don't I get these costumes? Why don't I get, this is a team pose that they do if you select all these 3 characters as your team. Why isn't this a stage right here, a different training stage that has weights in the background? Just throwing out ideas. And this is from one of the old KOFs. And this is one of the old secret teams as well. Give me some of that. You don't have to make any new stuff for that. Just pull it out the archives. Now, training mode is where you learn how to play KOF for real. So since you're going to be spending a lot of time in this, I want a few more features added to make it a little bit more intuitive and decrease the learning curve of this game. So first thing I want to see is add hitboxes and hurt boxes for moves and characters. Let's add actual frames besides just a plus. and minus. Let's see the actual numbers on that. Give us the option to demo moves from the command list instead of having to do them ourselves, so we can see what it actually looks like. Let's also add a charge icon in the input display, so hey, if I'm holding this button for a certain amount of time, then boom, it turns green, and now I know that I've held it, just to know how long it actually takes for it to be considered a charge. Another thing I want to see is just a tutorial of all the things that you can do in training mode. This can definitely be optional because some people just know and want to figure it out on their own, but knowing how to record and do different things like that in training mode can be a little bit difficult when, at least in KOF 15, it's not really explained. Just kind of press buttons like, oh, now I'm recording now, cool. So just add a few of those quick tutorials or tips like, okay, this is how you use training mode to the best. Another thing I want to see is when you go to the command list, can we get like an overview of our character, of their strengths and weaknesses and how difficult they are to learn? They kind of have that. See on the command list, when should I be using these moves, whether that be combo filler, anti-air, throw out in neutral, all that. So let us learn that from the command list in training mode, where it's like fully in-depth compared to just the normal of just do these motions for them, which is fine for just versus and stuff. But when I'm in training, I'm trying to grind. And when I get done grinding in training mode, I want to hop online and test my skills. So just make sure that part of the game is working. Make sure the netcode, matchmaking, and crossplay is functioning correctly, and we'll all be happy campers. It would be great to add more unlockables in online besides just titles. This could include costume colors like a camo grind and COD, victory poses, intros, taunts, custom UI for life bar and max meter, maybe even some retro sound effects from previous games for all the hits and supers. This gives more incentive to play online besides just getting to the highest rank. The ranking system could also use a rework from changing just to numbers to tiers. So we can go with the karate format, forget all the bronze, silver, gold. Let's go with from white belt all the way up to black belt, and of course the different degrees to that, and have rewards every time you reach a new tier in the ranking system. Boom, everybody wins, everybody's always grinding online. Now for the tutorial mode, I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. The tutorial is great that we actually have that in KOF 15. I think it just needs to be expanded on slightly. Besides just knowing how to do every mechanic, let's get a few scenarios of when to do each of these mechanics. So give us like 5 scenarios for each mechanic of actual in-game stuff when we should be using this. I think that'll go a long way at understanding how each of these should be performed in an actual match compared to just against a CPU that isn't moving in the tutorial. And we're off to a great start in learning how to play this game. Now let's hop into the DJ station. And for the DJ station, I don't have that many changes I really want to see. I think one good addition would be notifications and like in the main menu to let me know, hey, I just unlocked some new music. Because you really have no idea until you just hop in there and see, oh, here's some new music when I clicked over it. I think another great thing would be is having the option to randomize all the music that you have unlocked instead of just making a playlist of, I think, about 30 songs. Let me listen to the whole track list that you have here. Let's make KOF trials great again in KOF 16. So give every character 10 trials minimum from 0 to 5 bars, just half bar incrementals. And once you complete all 10 trials for a character, you get to unlock 5 new mastery trials, similar to the level of difficulty and flashiness of KOF 13. And when you complete all these trials, you get to unlock some victory poses for characters. These can be retro victory poses from previous games, or if you want to create some new ones, I think that would be great. And let's have the trials be on the character's team stage instead of just the training stage, and the opponent they go against be their rival or someone they have a relationship with, like Robert and Rio or Kyo and Iori, something like that, so they talk some trash to each other before the fight, and then boom, they start the trials. And let's also add some sound effects that play every time you execute a move in the trial, just to help you learn the timing of when to execute a move. Do that, and I think we're golden. Boss challenge mode needs more bosses, and that's about it. More bosses, more stages, more music to unlock, and we're content with that. Gallery mode for KOF 16 has to bring more than just movies and voice. I think it's great that we can rewatch all of the different story endings that we unlocked and even hear all the voice lines. I'm not complaining about that. But can we get some artwork? Let's see some concept art that y'all have had of characters and how y'all designed those, what made and what didn't. Let's see some team artwork of the full team together. I think that would be dope. Even add in some old team art. I don't care if the character's not even in the game anymore. Let's see all the artwork that SNK has made over the years for KOF games. Please. It'll be cool if we can even make a stage out of those by adding different artwork on the walls of the training stage or something like that. Just some ideas. The single player content that I want to see in KOF 16 is really just the single player content that we had in KOF over the years, and just a few additional modes that I want to be added. So some modes that we've seen in the past, time attack, let's bring that back. Survival, endless challenge mode from KOF 11. Let's add party mode. I think party mode would be a great new addition where you just get to play however you want to play KOF. If you want to do double damage on your hits, let's do that. If you want to play with no guard meter, let's do that. If you want only jumps, only hops to move around instead of just running forward and backwards, you can have that. Maybe you want to play and you start with 5 bars, maybe you want to play 2v2 instead of 3v3. All these options you have in party mode to play however your heart desires. Another mode I would like to add is retro mode, which, as the name says, you play KOF 16 like retro KOFs. So here you can play like KOF 14. Maybe you only want to use EX moves in max mode. Maybe you want to play like tag mode like they had in, I think, like the early 2000s KOFs. Maybe you want to play strikers with 4 characters. You can do that in retro mode. And of course, if they want to add all of these at the beginning, add more as DLC as the game progresses. And the last mode I would like to see added is a beat 'em up mode. So there is a KOF All-Stars, which is a mobile beat 'em up game, but why not add a beat 'em up game or beat 'em up mode to your actual fighting game? Fighting games and beat 'em ups go hand in hand, so just do it. I feel like you can get a lot of the ideas of how that mode should be from KOF All-Star. Just take out some of the extra fluff because that is a free-to-play game, so it's a lot of things added to make money from that. So don't need that because you paid your $60 for the game. And now I want to move over to DLC. And when it comes to DLC in KOF 15, it started off great in my opinion. You know, you always got a full team. Majority of the teams got an alternate costume, full story ending the same as the rest of the characters, and some of the characters even had secret endings with other characters in the game. But unfortunately in KOF 15, in Season 2, they kind of died off with you only getting individual characters instead of a full team. They're only getting 30-second endings instead of a full story ending. And they only had one ending. So I just want to keep the same quality when it comes to that. You're always getting 3 characters, a full team. They're all getting alternate costumes, all getting a full story ending, and some secret endings. And another thing I would like to see is let's add a stage. I think it'd be great if every team got their own stage instead of them just popping up. I know, I just think that would be great, especially if the story mode is going to be how I would like it, where the story of how the team got together they show on the website is actually portrayed in like a beginning cutscene when you start up story mode. So just add a stage for them. Another thing I think would be great is add presentation elements from the games that these characters are from, the DLC characters, to the actual game. So for example, they've added Samurai Showdown characters, that's a team in KOF 15, and when they do their level 3 supers, screen goes black and white, letters pop up like of them speaking like in Japanese and all that stuff. So why not have that display when they do their level 3 super to show like this is this Samurai Showdown character? You know, just add that presentation. I think Super Smash Brothers does stuff like this too, so just nice little attention to detail, like this character is from here, where they're still from this. They're not just a character in this. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. Another thing I would like to see is a guest team each season. So SNK characters overall, like their fighting game characters, have been in plenty of other franchises. You've had Geese in Tekken, you've had Mai and Kula in Dead or Alive, you had Terry in Super Smash Brothers and Fighting EX Layer, and Hamaru in Soul Calibur. So You gotta pull some characters from these iconic fighting game franchises and put them in your own game. I think just one guest team a season, because there's so many characters in SNK that some haven't even been in the game in a while, or some people have been asking for it, so they don't want to see that taken away by a guest team. But you gotta add that. It just brings more people in. Like, I didn't even know about KOF myself until I saw Geese and KOF and Tekken 7, and then started looking up videos and started wanting to play it myself. So that always brings folks in when you see your favorite character from another game mentioned in a new fighting game. So I think that would be a great addition. My KOF 16 wishlist is now complete. Will we see any of these additions added to the next KOF entry? Probably not, but a brother can dream. Let me know in the comment section, do you agree or disagree with me, or have additional features you want to see in KOF 16? I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.